guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 10:22 a.m.
About half an hour ago I got back from taking Max for a walk. Pretty peaceful walk. It wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. Bit of a chill in the air, slight drizzle. There was a few people about because I went out earlier than I normally do. I normally wait till the cleaners have cleaned the building, then I go out. But I went out before the builders even empty, but they go into the bin store. I don't know what they do in there. They tidy the bins up and then they rattle the trolley and move on and empty all the bins along the Rochester Riverside. They empty them all from the weekend. So there was a guy with a green hooded coat with glasses. There was a couple of people, a couple of joggers. I didn't feel alone. I saw people. It wasn't deserted like it was last night. Last night it was deserted when I went out. It was pitch black and deserted. And there was cookies on the floor. Someone had dropped all their brown cookies all on the floor last night, and you've got to stop your dog from eating the crap people throw on the floor because you don't know if they've been sick, and you don't want your dog to eat bits of puke that somebody's puked up with a chocolate biscuit. So I'm pulling him away from these chocolate cookies, and I walked him home last night, but it was pretty much deserted. So back to today, back to so I've gone out. My mum called me this morning. I missed her call, so she called me about 20 to 9 when I was actually doing a video. I was in the middle of doing a video when she phoned and I didn't hear the phone go off. So I'm going to listen to my mum's answer phone message when I finish doing this video. But yeah, I do feel that I've been let down by the judicial system, by the police, and by members of my mum's family that were alive. They're now dead. My mum's mother is dead, but she knew what my dad was up to because my mum had told her, and my mum's mother didn't help her. I had a bad marriage. I had domestic violence in my marriage. I was subjected to emotional and physical cruelty, and my ex has apologised for it. He's sorry for the way he behaved, which is fair enough, but it has had a detrimental effect on myself and my children, because my children watched my ex hit me and abuse me, and children, especially males, think that it's okay to abuse your mum. So they think, oh, dad did it, then I can do it, An abused woman is frightened to speak out. An abused woman doesn't want to take being hit and beaten and bruised and mistreated. But you love your husband, you love your partner, and you want them to change. You don't want them to treat you that way, but you can't get the help and support you need because not only are you frightened to speak about it, you're also ashamed. And when a child hits his parent, you can understand, or a daughter hits their parent that's been domestically abused, you can understand partly why they're doing it, because they've seen their father hit their mother, abuse their mother, so they think that's the right way to behave. And when children get into trouble later on because they've had an abusive parent, they get in trouble with the police, they drink excessive alcohol, they take drugs, they think they can do what they like. They obviously can't because they get caught and taken off in a police van. But you don't want your child to go to prison. You want your child to get help, the counselling and the support they should have had when they were small and growing up as teenagers. But I live in a fucked up world, in a fucked up family, because because my father, as I've said on many previous videos, abused me as a child. My mum tried to get help, but he used to convince the police that my mum was mentally ill and mad, and they would walk off, and then as soon as the police had gone out the door, my father would hit my mother. He hit my mother before she went into a mental hospital to get treatment. He punched her in the eye, and I was in the back of the car, and I witnessed it. And all the way along, I just couldn't understand why the police would believe in this man. My mum had physical bruises. I mean, I was a kid, and my dad would threaten me with death. He would say, "I'll kill you if you tell anybody. I'll kill you." And also, when they abuse you, I hate it when an abuser says you enjoyed that, didn't you? You enjoyed it. I enjoyed being sexually abused. I don't think so. When my dad died and he didn't admit to the abuse he'd inflicted on me, I was shocked and gutted that he died thinking it was okay to have done what he'd done to me and my mother. I was gutted there was no justice. When I had a battle with trying to gain control of custody of my kids, when I left my husband voluntarily because I was sick of the way he was treating my children at that time, I didn't have the support I needed. The police and the judicial system were on the side of my ex. They didn't let me speak. They didn't listen to my story. I was quiet. I was a genuine person. I'd have been abused. Had my head down. I couldn't speak. I couldn't tell my story. But now I can. But they look at you as if you're evil. The female judge looked at me as if I'm evil, and I fought for my kids. In fact, I believe I saved my kids' lives by speaking about what had happened to me. Although I was chucked out and made homeless, I was thrown out in the cold and made homeless, and my ex was still controlling me even though I'd left him with the children, because that's what they do. They control you with the kids. Usually it's the other way around. A woman has the kids and the guy has trouble getting access to his children. I was a woman and my ex was a man, and I was trying to gain access to my kids, and he really wasn't letting me. He was playing up whenever I wanted to see them or speak to them on the phone. And when it was Fathers for Justice, I was a mother trying to fight for justice. Do you remember those blokes, the Fathers for Justice, that used to climb roofs because they wanted access to their kids from their female partners? Well, I was a woman trying to get access to my kids. And I was homeless and I had no support. I was chucked outside like a discarded piece of paper. Rubbish. I have been homeless. I have struggled. I have been starving at times and eaten shit. And right now, today is a pile of crap because I'm just existing. I'm existing. People have got away with what they've done to me, and I'm still here. The brunt of everybody's laughter, oh, that's funny, that's hilarious. People laughing at me when they don't understand what it's like to be on the streets. They don't understand what it's like to be hit by your partner for several years and sexually abused by your dad. And every time I've met someone off a dating site, they think it's free game. They can play about with me however they choose, and they can't. So I don't join dating sites anymore. The last trouble I had on Facebook dating was stupidity and crap. So shovel it. This is me. If you don't like it, go away. I'm not talking to anybody. The phone doesn't keep pinging and hurting my face. I don't get bullshit messages. and rubbish that doesn't make sense, all scrawled up, not written properly, and it's empty and it's quiet, and I've got to get used to it. It's like coming off drugs or drink or food problem, right? I was hooked on these messages. I had to speak to somebody. I didn't know who it was, but I had to speak to someone. Yes, it is dead. Yes, it is quiet, but I am being harassed, which is far more better that it's quiet than you being the phone going off 50 times a day with shit on it, you know. Hello, beautiful. That's all gone, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful, and I'm not returning to that. Someone, if they want to speak to me, will have to speak to me face to face. And if they don't, fair enough. I'm happy the way I am. This is me, and I'm not dyeing my hair. And if you think I'm an old granny, that's your problem. But you honestly need to grow up. Because I finally have. And there is nothing there. You live, you make the most of it, and you die, right? Even people with money are miserable because it's never enough, is it? It's never enough. You want more and more and more and more and more and more and more. So I'm happy the way I am, and I just need to